can you all come to the front? Now the next step is that we are going to do this thing called CSK. It says here, it's actually a countersunk, okay? This symbol with the V shape, countersunk tool. Countersunk tool is like, it's a slope shape like that. Maybe I should draw it here. Countersunk drilling. So what happens is that this diameter is diameter 4.5, and then this is the countersunk diameter, okay? And they want you to countersunk to diameter 9.5. But there is another way of doing it, which I'll show you guys later. And basically we are creating this kind of holes. Why do we create these holes? Because when you use countersunk screws, they have that slope feature on the head, and you want it to be flush to your workpiece, okay? So the whole exercise lets you see how we use different types of tools, okay? Now, the countersunk tool is, using the countersunk tool will be a little bit more troublesome than the counterbore, because we have to take out our workpiece, right? And we have to flip it around. We have to flip it around. And if you flip it around, right? Now what happens is that when you flip it around, you have to take, now what happens is, when you flip it around, you take out your workpiece, right? Will your X still be at 0 and your Y be at 0? No, it's gone. It's gone. You have to do it again with the center drill, not with the countersunk tool. Flip it again, and this time round our Y is from this edge, the outer edge, right, in by 30 millimeters, then from this edge in this way. Okay? Alright? Do you get it? Yes, but I will show you how it's done in case you've forgotten. First things first is you always take out your tool. You always take out our tool, you put it one side, and we do our setup. Okay, the setup is pretty similar. Okay, and you need to make sure that your chips are clear. Okay, that there are no chips. And some of you realize that now this is the countersunk tool. Okay, some of you realize that once you take out, wow, so sharp, all these things, what you can do is you can use the countersunk tool and you can give it a few turns, right? And then you will remove away the chips. You will give it a nice little chamfer. Okay, and you can do it for this one as well. Alright? So you just hold the tool in your hand, and then you just remove the sharp edges. Okay? Now the next thing you want to do is then you, same thing, it's about a thumb's width, okay, slightly more, okay, and then you hold it tight, turn it, okay. Once it hits the resistance, go past the resistance 1/4 or half a round, okay. Then you check your parallel bars. If they are a bit loose, give them a tap, and then you're good. Then the next tool to use is actually this center drill. Although we are not using the center drill, we're just using it to put for the paper to find the X0 and the Y0. So you will have to set it up again. Right, diameter 8. Okay. And I'm going to set my X0. Okay. And then be a bit too much. Okay. What I can do is, you need to take that piece of paper again. Right, and you flip the excess water away. Put it here. Alright. Now the countersunk tool is at 500, so you can set your speed at 500 because we are not doing the drilling, the counterbore drilling. You can set the speed at 500. Alright. And then you can move. Okay. And very lightly you start to tap. And you look out for the piece of paper. It should be anytime soon. Then you will flick away. Right? Once you flick away, you stop. And you set your X to 0. Okay, you set your X to 0. Then you move your Y out. Okay? And then what do? You push your X in, right? And you push it in by -4. Can you see that on the board there? You set X to 0, move X to -4, then you press X to 0. So -4. So always push your tool out away from your workpiece before you go in -4. If you are here and you go in -4, then that's it now. Right? This whole head can actually swivel. It will be misaligned. Do you know what I mean? Either the head moves or your workpiece moves, or both moves. Either one will be bad. So you move it out, then you move it to -4.
It's okay, swivel, but then every time you touch it, it didn't move it.
Well, it's tight, but if you do it on impact, you will shoot.
Put the paper.
Okay, once it's -4, then you set X to 0 again. Okay? Then the same exercise, you can move in your X, but you make sure that you don't hit. You see the corner is very close to the vise already. Make sure you don't hit, so you see where you're going. Okay? Then you put another piece of paper. Don't reuse the paper, Hall. Don't reuse the paper. Then you put it here. Right? Then you bring this in. Such that it's really close. Then you turn on. Then you tap. You see the paper is moving, then you stop. Okay? Then you set your Y equals to 0. Okay? Now is the time where you can lower your, you can lower the Z. And how much does the Y move in? So you need to move the workpiece this way, right? Right? It's -4 again. Right? It's -4. Okay, then you set the Y to 0. Okay? And you just do a little bit of a check. Okay? And you see that the tip of this is exactly at this point here. Okay? Then what you can do is you can lower down your what you can do is you can take out this and you can put in your countersunk tool, right? In your countersunk tool, then you tighten it, right? Tighten it, and then you move it to the first hole location. The first hole location is 3, 4, and 5, so it's -35. Which is X -35. Don't go and do here. This is hole number 1 and 2, okay? Don't do it here. Minus 35. Overshot. Overshot. 35. And then it's minus 30. Okay. Now, then you can see that it's going in over here, right? Then what happens is that before I start, I'm going to use this to test for it later. So I don't have to bother with measuring 9.5. It's going to be quite hard to measure 9.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this, and oh, sorry. Stop. I'm going to loosen this first. Okay. I'm going to loosen this first. And I'm going to bring this down. Right? Then I'm going to start. Okay. Okay, it's only an approximate. Then what happens is, okay, then we test it with this screw over here like that. Then once it's flush, it's good enough. Okay. Now once it's flush, it's good enough. Now I'm going to find these screws for you guys and I'll pass it to you guys later. Okay. So once it's flush, it's good enough. Then what you can do is this. Okay. You don't want to be overestimating it all the time, right? And you know that you will come all the way to this point. So what you do is you press this. Can you see this thing here? You press this button and then it slides all the way up. And then you can even turn it and then it tightens. So this is actually a hard stop. Do you understand? This is a hard stop. So you will always go to this location. Okay? Right? Yeah. Then you move this to the next location and you do it again. Okay? I'll go look for the screws. I'll pass it to you. Thank you.